She didn't burst onto the fashion scene with controversy, shock value, or a carefully manufactured viral moment. Claudia Rojas arrived quietly, guided by intention, patience, and an inner confidence that did not need validation to exist. In a digital world that rewards noise, she chose presence. In an industry addicted to trends, she chose identity. And that decision, repeated daily through discipline and self-belief, slowly transformed her into one of the Instagram fashion influencers people didn't just follow, but trusted. If you enjoy discovering powerful journeys of models and influencers who redefine beauty, confidence, and success in their own way, now is the perfect moment to support Sweet Models World by subscribing, liking this video, and staying connected for more cinematic stories that inspire from the inside out. Long before her name appeared in influencer conversations, Claudia Rojas was learning something essential about style and self-expression. Fashion, to her, was never just about what you wear. It was about how you exist in your own space. She noticed how posture could change the way clothes looked, how confidence altered perception, and how authenticity made even the simplest outfit unforgettable. These early realizations shaped not just her aesthetic, but her mindset. She understood that clothes could enhance identity, but they could never replace it. As social media began reshaping the fashion industry, Instagram became a new runway, one without gates or permission slips. Claudia stepped onto that runway not to compete, but to communicate. Her early content reflected subtlety rather than excess. There was a calm confidence in her visuals, a sense of balance that made people pause instead of scroll past. She wasn't trying to be everywhere. She was focused on being real, where she was. What made Claudia Rojas stand out was her instinctive understanding of connection. She didn't position herself above her audience. She stood beside them. Her style felt aspirational, yet achievable. Her visuals felt polished, yet human. This balance created a sense of trust that numbers alone can never buy. People followed her not because she was flawless, but because she felt genuine. Growth came steadily, not explosively, and that steady rise mattered. It allowed Claudia to evolve naturally, without pressure to become something she wasn't. Each post reflected learning. Each phase reflected growth. She refined her visual language slowly, paying attention to lighting, composition, color, and mood. Instagram for her was not a distraction. It was a craft. She treated it with the seriousness of a profession long before the world labeled it as one. As her following expanded, so did her awareness of responsibility. Claudia realized that influence is not neutral. Every image sends a message. Every caption shapes perception. Instead of projecting unrealistic perfection, she chose authenticity. She allowed her audience to see confidence as something built, not something you're born with. This honesty resonated deeply in a digital culture dominated by comparison. Fashion influencers often face immense pressure behind the scenes. There is the constant demand for relevance, the unspoken competition, the silent expectation to always appear composed. Claudia navigated these realities with emotional intelligence. She understood that mental sustainability matters as much as visual consistency. Rather than chasing every trend, she focused on longevity. She chose alignment over popularity. When brands began to take notice, it wasn't just her appearance that attracted them. It was her professionalism. Claudia understood that influence is built on trust, and trust is built on consistency. She didn't promote products she didn't believe in. She didn't compromise her aesthetic for short-term gain. Each collaboration felt natural because it was intentional. Her audience could feel that honesty, and that made her influence stronger. Claudia Rojas represents a shift in what modeling means in the modern era. She is part of a generation that doesn't wait for gatekeepers. Social media gave her visibility, but discipline gave her credibility. She didn't rely on validation from traditional institutions to define her worth. She built her own platform, her own narrative, her own standard of success. Her evolution over time is one of her most inspiring qualities. As she grew more confident, her content grew more refined. Her styling became more intentional. Her presence became more grounded. She didn't abandon her early self, she elevated it. This evolution reminds us that growth doesn't mean losing yourself. It means understanding yourself more deeply. Beyond fashion, Claudia's journey speaks to self-belief. She embodies the idea that confidence is not loud. It doesn't need constant affirmation. It exists quietly, expressed through consistency, discipline, and self-respect. Her work encourages others to see beauty not as something external to chase, but as something internal to cultivate. In an industry that often rewards extremes, Claudia chose balance. She showed that femininity can coexist with strength, that elegance can exist without fragility, and that influence can be powerful without being aggressive. These subtle messages have a lasting impact, especially on those navigating their own paths in creative industries. Her story is cinematic not because it is dramatic, but because it is real. There were moments of doubt, moments of slow growth, moments where progress wasn't immediately visible, yet she remained committed. She trusted timing. She believed in the value of patience, and that belief became her advantage. Instagram fashion influencing is often misunderstood as effortless. Claudia's journey reveals the truth behind the visuals. Behind every image is planning. Behind every collaboration is negotiation. Behind every confident pose is self-work. Her success is not accidental. It is the result of showing up even when results were not immediate. As her platform grew, so did her influence beyond aesthetics. Claudia became a quiet source of motivation for those who felt unseen. She showed that you don't need to conform to be successful. You don't need to rush to be relevant. You don't need to become someone else to be admired. This message is especially powerful in a world that constantly pressures individuals to compare and compete. Claudia Rojas also demonstrates the importance of identity in the digital age. Algorithms change. Trends fade. But identity endures. By staying true to herself, she created a brand that feels stable even as the digital landscape evolves. This stability is what gives her longevity, and it is what many aspiring influencers overlook. Her journey continues to unfold, shaped by experience, intention, and creative curiosity. She is not defined by a single look, a single campaign, or a single moment. She is defined by growth, by the willingness to learn, by the courage to remain authentic in a space that often rewards imitation. In many ways, Claudia's story reflects the modern definition of success. It is not about instant fame. It is about alignment. It is about building something meaningful over time. It is about knowing who you are and refusing to abandon that truth for attention. This is why her influence feels lasting rather than fleeting. She reminds us that modeling today is not limited to runways and magazines. It is about storytelling, about presence, about connection. Through Instagram, Claudia transformed fashion into a personal dialogue rather than a distant spectacle. And in doing so, she redefined what influence can look like. As viewers and dreamers, there is something powerful to learn from her journey. That progress does not need applause to be real. That patience is not weakness. That authenticity is not a trend. Claudia Rojas stands as proof that when you honor your pace and trust your vision, the right audience will find you. If this story resonated with you, and you want more inspirational, motivational, and cinematic biographies of models and Instagram fashion influencers, remember to support Sweet Models World by subscribing, liking this video, and sharing it with someone who believes in purposeful success. Every story we tell here is meant to remind you that confidence is built, dreams are earned, and authenticity always leaves a lasting mark. Claudia Rojas is more than an Instagram fashion influencer. She is a reflection of discipline over distraction, identity over imitation, and purpose over pressure. Her journey reminds us that true style is not about following trends, true confidence is not about approval, and true influence begins the moment you choose to be yourself, fully, consistently, and without apology.